Shalom, brothers and sisters. So, huge news coming out of Israel. If you've been following on Telegram like I have and watching in the early hours of the morning for us, this part of the world, Israel finally launched a surprise attack on Iran's nuclear facilities and various military targets, not just with the Air Force, but I think Mossad would have been active on the ground with targeted eliminations that took place across the infrastructure of their hierarchy. Jordan has announced the closure of their airspace indefinitely with expectance of the retaliation coming from Iran. 200 planes dropped 330 munitions, 100 targets attacked, 100 Iranian drones were launched but should be intercepted before they reach Israel. That's the initial knee-jerk reaction because Iran had no idea and was not expecting anything. I mean, they even referred recently to Israel saying that they'd need to attack Iran at some stage as a dog barking, that nothing would happen, and that they were totally wrapped up in the whole discussions with America and keeping America on the line for those discussions. And while everyone talked, Israel, acted and did this thing in the early hours of the morning, 2-3 o'clock this morning. 200 fighter jets attacking targets 1,000 miles away. It's never been done by any country before, and it shows you the kind of warfare that will be happening going forward as this world tumbles into chaos lying ahead, which we should not be here for. Israel estimates more than 10 nuclear scientists were killed in Iran during this operation. And that's besides the other leaders and things that were eliminated at the same time. So chaos reigning across Iran, absolute anger and frustration in their leadership and in the fact that they were caught so badly. Israel took out their anti-aircraft systems and everything and literally owned the skies of Iran. Tiny Israel owned Iran's skies. That in itself is embarrassment amongst the Arab nations that they'll never live down at all. The first reaction, according to Israel's assessment from Iran, will be several waves of hundreds of ballistic missiles that should be launched towards Israel, for which Israel is preparing and readying the populace and getting them on a footing where they're expectant and they realize that they are now in an open state of war with Iran. Saudi Arabia obviously issued a major condemnation publicly and calling on the international community to deal with Israel. I think privately they are celebrating that Israel has removed the teeth from the dog and taken away its abilities with nuclear weapons, because if you remove God from the equation, what would have happened is Iran would have finalized their 15-odd nuclear weapons, attacked Israel, turned it into a nuclear wasteland, handed it back to the Palestinians and said, there you go, it's about as bad as it was when you apparently owned it the first time. Enjoy, we've liberated you. Then they would have attacked America, and if that was successful, they would have, with their assistance, started positioning themselves as the most powerful Arab nation, which means they could attack Saudi Arabia, other Arab nations with their nuclear arsenal. This would be the dream of the Ayatollah. Now that dream is shattered and gone because these nuclear toys have been taken away by Israel. What you can expect immediately is international condemnation against Israel from the whole world, saying, how could you? You've attacked poor Iran. You've gone and affected their national integrity and sovereignty and everything. It's so wrong what you've done. Meanwhile, Israel has just saved so many people by removing the threat of nuclear weapons in the hands of madmen. Madmen. I'm not talking about Iranians on the street, many of which are finding Jesus and for which I have a lot of love. I'm talking about the madmen in control. The same way as I love my country, South Africa, and the people on the street, I am not in cahoots with the madmen in control. And that's sadly many times the situation in these countries. The people in North Korea are suffering under the madman in control. You get how it works. So, yeah, pray for Israel. Just pray that the Lord be with them, that we'll see many miracles in the interceptions, as we did with the previous toothless attacks from mighty Iran when they rose against Israel, that it will be the same and worse for Iran, that their ballistic missiles will fail in the air, that interceptions will take place successfully, and that it will be even a bigger embarrassment, their big retaliation against Israel, if there's anything left to retaliate with, because Israel took out a lot of those possibilities as well on various military bases with their 200 fighter jets striking and having free reign all over Iranian skies during the early hours of this morning. So again, they've shown the David versus Goliath principle very clearly. So really proud of Israel for finally taking the step and for removing the teeth from this situation, because the nuclear weapons in Iran's hands was a very real threat, and that has now been removed successfully. But watch the international reaction, the knee jerk, and pray for Israel, as all those people in the population are right now, while you go about your business and go about your day, they are bracing and waiting to see what's going to happen with this retaliation. But God, keep looking up. We're getting closer by the second. Shalom.
زدن آتیشه دیدی؟ جنگ کجا بود؟